Hi, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Sasha and I'm so glad that you're joining me here today. This is my first video, so welcome. This channel is going to be about finances, lifestyle, and my faith. So I'm a Christian, but today's video I wanted to talk about this debt-free journey that I've been on since 2024. And I wanted to go back to 2023. So what really opened my eyes to my spending and some of my bad habits that I've fallen into. So in 2023, one of my bank accounts got hacked, one of my cards, and quite a lot of money was taken out. Thankfully, my financial institution was able to recover it. But that sort of was like a big wake-up call, like I wasn't really paying attention to what was going on the first couple of transactions, and then I started noticing like a huge chunk of money was missing from my account, and I was like, uh-oh, and then I got onto my financial institution. But that sort of was like a wake-up call, like, hey girl, you should really start paying attention to your finances. So from then on, I turned on notifications, so I got notified whenever money went in or out, whenever transactions took place. So I would say that was sort of the beginning of my awareness into my finances. So I've always had like a mental budget, budgeting based on vibes maybe, which isn't great and I don't recommend, because you don't really understand where your income is coming from, how much it is, where's all your spending going, how much are your expenses. Yeah, so 2023 that happened. And then in 2024, what really woke me up was actually my tax return in July for 2024. And I saw the number of my total income for 2023-2024. And it was the highest amount of money I've ever made. And yeah, I just couldn't believe that's how much money. It was 6 figures. I was like, I can't believe how much money this is. And then the second follow-up thought was, oh my goodness, where has all this money gone? So all this money came in, where is it going? Like, this is a huge amount of money. What have I been doing with it? So what happened after that, I did my tax return and I was able to get some deductions and some money back, thank goodness. But yeah, I started really digging into my finances and my financial situation. And I downloaded Excel spreadsheets from all of my bank accounts. And then I started a little analysis of them. And what I found really was quite shocking. The amount I was spending, particularly on, I'm going to say, hobbies, clothing, or like clothing, shoes, accessories. And then what was my third? Oh yeah, dining out, so food. So those 3 expenses were incredibly high. Like, obviously the cost of living is going up so much. Interest rates are rising on home loans and car loans if they're variable. And the price of food at the grocery store is going up. So everything is going up. So I noticed in my vibing, budgeting, like money wasn't the same. Like, there wasn't the same buffer in my account as there previously had been when I wasn't worried about my spending. So costs are going up. My spending was rising with my increasing wages, and everything was going up. So I downloaded all of that data and I was shocked, by those 3 categories and how much I was spending. So I did a full audit of all my finances, which took quite a lot of hours, because I went through it line by line and I categorized every spending. And then spending I didn't understand, I went back into my bank account and dug a little bit deeper to try to figure out what is this spending and what was it and where did it go? So the other thing that I noticed, so those 3 categories are really high. The other thing that I noticed was my subscription. So what I had been subscribing to and the amount of money that was and how much it was adding up. So that was actually one of the first steps I took, was going through all of my subscriptions and really making some hard choices and cutting out the ones I definitely didn't even realize I was still subscribed to, or didn't realize how much they were costing me. I cut those out straight away. And then I started making some choices. So I didn't cut out all my subscriptions, but I just kept some essential ones. So I did some things like I changed my Audible from, I think it was something crazy like 2 credits every month, and now I've changed that to 1 credit every 2 months. So that cut down that subscription quite a lot. I had a drumming, singing, piano subscription, which was incredibly expensive. It was I think it was $50 a month, maybe more. So I cut that one, even though I loved it and it was great. I just couldn't justify that kind of money when I can get some free tutorials on YouTube for drumming or singing or piano playing. Like I've got the instruments, but I can't justify that amount of money for how much I wasn't using it. So those were some things I cut. I looked at my Photoshop, Lightroom, Adobe subscription, and I cut that down as much as I could. I could probably cut it down some more. I cut down my streaming services to just 1, and then I paid that on an annual lump sum to save on that. So I made a few of these little changes, and I'm talking about all these things because that was sort of my first step I actually took in 2024, trying to look at my budget. So that was before I did that download and looked at all those, like, where is my money going? This is crazy. So I'd already started on that step. The other thing I started doing was having conversations with people. So I started talking to my colleagues at work, you know, what were they doing? How's their home loans? How's their car loans? You know, one of my close work colleagues, she paid off her car, and that was really inspirational to me. Shout out to her. If she ever sees this, she probably won't. But yeah, she was really inspirational to me that she paid off her car loan. That is what it actually inspired me to start making some more aggressive changes in my budgeting and my finances. And she also had a budget that she was doing. It was really simple and colorful and beautiful. And I'm a sucker for a colorful spreadsheet. So that was also inspiring to me too. And I took that and I've made my own budgeting tool for this year. For 2025 coming. And I talked to some of my other friends who have home loans and who are making purchases and what's their percentages and what's going on. So those were kind of the next step I took after I cut all my subscriptions. I downloaded all my data. I started talking to people to understand what they were doing, like people in a similar circumstance to me, you know, like same city, same state, same country, you know, same economic situations, similar jobs, similar income, just to give me an idea. Some of my other friends from church, just coincidentally, we were talking about our finances too and what they were doing with theirs. So I started having some interesting conversations with people just to get just an overview and a worldview and like, hey, what's going on with everyone else and what's normal? Like, I don't want to be normal, but I want to have my spending adjusted not to just what internet crazy consumption is, right? And like, I wanted to align with my Christian values. Like, I don't want to be like jealous of other people's stuff. I don't want to be greedy. I don't want to have a love for money. I don't want to be comparing myself to others because that's like the thief of joy. So I really need to have a look at myself, my spending, what I was doing, comparing it to others, what were they doing, what was helping them, and then I took my next step after that. I then started looking at all of my debts and what was going on there. So I have my home loan. I've got a very small home loan, which I'm really blessed by. I bought a small 1-bedroom apartment when the market was really low, so my home loan is really low. I also had quite a large deposit saved up, and my parents actually put a little bit in as well, which helped me. But I still have a home loan, and it was on a fixed and during COVID it went really low, and stupidly I did not make any more extra repayments when my interest was really low, and then it came off of the fixed interest deduction I had for a first home buyer's grant, and it was on variable, and I wasn't really paying much attention to it. I knew that interest rates were going up, and the money came out every month and it would go up, and I was just okay with that. I wasn't really thinking about it. So I started thinking about it, and I actually went through and I looked at all my transactions, and my mortgage interest rate percentage was over 8%, which was incredibly shocking. If you don't know, that is a bad interest rate percentage for your mortgage. So I started doing some comparisons just on my own. A friend at work had offered me their home loan broker, but I just wanted to do my own research, look at my own options first. So I did that, and I looked at quite a few of the major banks and some of the other banks to see what was the comparative interest rate that they were currently offering. And it was about 2% lower. So I put on my big girl adult pants, my big adult girl dress, and I called my bank, which was terrifying. I'm introverted. If anyone in real life is watching this, I'm super introverted. I'm quite shy, and I'm the sort of person, like, if you bring me the wrong coffee, I will just drink it. If you bring me the wrong food, I will just eat it, or they haven't made it right. You know, like, I don't create waves. I don't like to make a scene. I don't like confrontation. So anyway, I called my bank and I spoke to a lady, and she was offering me a terrible deal. She was actually wanting me to pay more money on my home loan. She wanted me to sign up for this super duper annual fee and get all these bonuses that was actually going to cost me, I think it was like $300 more a year than what I was doing. It was really, I'm like, this is so silly. Anyway, I was starting to get shaky and really nervous. But I had my paper and my pen and my calculator in front of me, and I'd researched with ChatGPT and Google some things to say to convince your bank that they should actually lower your interest rate competitive with their own interest rate they're offering people. So I had all my notes in front of me, my facts, my figures, and then I calculated what this first lady was offering me. And then I explained to her, I said, well, this is actually going to cost me $300 more a year. And then she sort of cut the call, and I was transferred to another lady. Anyway, that lady was able to help me. We went through exactly what the previous lady had discussed, and I explained, yeah, this is going to cost me more money to do what you're asking me to do, and I'm actually calling up to lower my interest rate. And I persevered. It probably took me about 30 minutes, the whole phone call, but they actually agreed to lower my interest rate down to what they were offering new customers. So you never know what a phone call can do. If you have credit cards, if you've got a mortgage or a car loan, or you need to refinance, you know, just start by calling your bank and seeing if there's something that they are willing to do to keep you on as a customer. Because, you know, your money in the bank, or the interest that you're paying them, is of benefit to them, so they want to keep their customers. Anyway, so that was a really good blessing. I was so excited, and I felt like such a proper adult, and I messaged all my work colleagues that I've been talking to my finances about. I was like, hey, hey, you know, this is what I did. Can you believe it? Like, it was like such a proud adult moment. Like, I'm a full adult, but that was like so scary. And yeah, it was just such a big accomplishment, even though it was like nothing. It's like a 2% drop in my interest. I mean, it's not nothing, but yeah, it's not that big of an achievement, but it was really exciting to me on this finance journey. So that's the next step I took, was to get that percentage down. And actually what I did is I kept my mortgage payments the same. So I'm paying over the minimum each month, and it's just coming out automatically a bit more than my minimum repayment to help me to pay that down faster. So that was set and forget. And then the other thing, so that was the next thing I did. The next thing I did in 2024 was aggressively try to pay off my car loan. So my car loan was about the same percentage as my now negotiated down home loan. So the interest rate, they're about the same, but the total left on my car seemed a lot more manageable, and it seemed achievable. You know how I mentioned that work colleague who paid off her car this year? That really inspired me. So I did the same, and I started aggressively trying to pay off that debt so I could cancel out those payments, those monthly actually they're weekly payments for my car. And what I also found out was that when the finance company for my car had set up my minimum monthly payments, because it was done on a weekly, I actually wasn't meeting my monthly minimum repayment. So in a 5-week month I was, but in a 4-week month I wasn't. So it was just lucky I had paid a little bit of extra on my car previously, you know, through the other couple of years. Like, I'm in a really blessed position, and I was able to take some higher paying jobs in 2024. So I was able to do some short-term acting arrangements at higher levels that enabled me to increase my income. I started doing some online surveys for companies to boost a little bit of income that way. It's really inefficient. I do not recommend, but if you are desperate, you can earn a little bit of cash that way. And I started an Etsy shop. That's a whole other video maybe. I started an Etsy shop to try to bring in some passive income. And then the other thing is my parents have a business. So at the end of this year, I was able to work for their business during my annual leave from my everyday job, from my work. And I was able to earn a little bit of extra income that way. Now, all of the extra income I earned was not a lot by any means, but every little bit helps, especially once I started looking at my spending habits and where my money was going and where I could cut back. And like, the shock factor of looking at what I was spending my money on was a big wake-up call for me. That really helped for me to see. So I might pop a little bit of a diagram up on the screen, just flagging some of those expenses that are really embarrassing. Not that I'm probably still within the 50, 30, 20% rule, but anyway, I just found the expenses for me personally were a bit shocking, what I was spending money on, and I wanted to change some of my behavior. So I have been working on that since about October 2024. So like, this hasn't been going on very long, but at the start of this month, so December 2024, I paid off my car loan 10 months early. Yay! So that was incredible. I celebrated again with my work colleagues and some of my friends and family. It's just like a really big accomplishment when you hit one of your goals that you've set for yourself. And I thank God, because He's the one who helped me and enabled me to do this. And I've been praying, like, please help me take control of my finances, help me to be a good steward, help me not to be covetous of money. Like, I don't want to make money an idol in my life, but I want to use it responsibly. Anyway, I've been reading up on financial advice in the Bible as well. As researching on YouTube, I've been down a big deep dive. Like, this is currently my, like, I'll say, like, hyper focus. It's just really fascinating. And some of the other things I've been learning about advertising and consumerism, and how companies really get to you, and all of these like subconscious subliminal things. Like, they put research into finding out psychologically how and why and when we're going to spend money, and they use it to help us spend more money. So yeah, some of that was just really eye-opening, and being able to see that now, like, and when I buy something, I'm like, oh, am I buying this because I saw that ad about it, or I saw that on a billboard, or, you know, that came into my email? Is that why I'm buying this product? And just start to think more objectively about the purchases I'm making. Yeah, so I was able to cut my spending, I was able to increase some of my income, and I was able to pay off my car loan early. So that had been a project through the later half of 2024, and I think, yeah, 10 months early, I think it was about $5,000 extra on top of my normal repayments. Anyway, so after that mess with the, like, how they had set up not enough money to go out every month, so I went in manually myself into my app, which I was able to do, thank goodness, and I increased my minimum payment. So that was a few months into my trying to pay off this journey, when I started actually really crunching the numbers and how much penalty is this going to be for paying it off, and trying to add it all up. Anyway, so I went in then and I increased my minimum monthly payments just slightly. It was just like less than $20 more a week, but that really made a big difference. So it would have really made a big difference at the start too, if you can start paying off a little bit extra than your minimum monthly payments as soon as you get into debt. That really helps you in the long run to save on interest that you're paying to the financial company. Anyway, so that was a really big achievement in my debt journey this year in 2024, paying off my car. Once the car was paid off, then I went to my phone debt, which I had never considered debt before, which is crazy. I don't know, maybe everyone considers it not debt, but not financial gurus on YouTube. They definitely consider it debt, but I had never ever thought about it before. Like, I just thought it was normal that you would get a new phone and you would put it on a payment plan and then you would just pay it off over the term of the phone. Like, I never thought about it as debt. I don't know. Can you let me know in the comments below if you ever thought about that before? If you think of your phone payments as debt or not, and why, and maybe why do we always think that? Like, has it just become so normalized in society? I don't know. Anyway, that's a rant for another day. But once I had paid off my car, then I got the lump sum from my phone company, and there was no penalty, there was no extra payout, there was no break cost for paying off the phone payment plan early. So I got that lump sum and I paid that off as well, which was a bit risky because I almost emptied my accounts that month. But I was so excited to get out of debt. So the only debt now that I have currently is my home loan, and that's what I'm going to make another video about my goals for 2025, but that's one of my goals for 2025 is to seriously work on my home loan debt. And yeah, so I'll make another video about getting out of my goals, my financial goals for 2025. And yeah, I'm just really excited. I wish I had started videoing this journey 6 months ago, 8 months ago when I started on this, but I didn't know then what I know now, and I didn't know like how exciting it is once you actually see some progress and you can see those numbers and those figures start to go down, and the amount of payments you're paying each month slowly stopping, and then you can use that money to go towards your saving and your other debt. Yeah, it's just been a really incredible journey, and I'm really thankful, and I hope to document my financial journey this year, 2025, at least once a month, with updates on how I'm going, how my spending's going. Yes, I'm not doing a no spend year, but I'm trying to be mindful of my expenses. Maybe we'll call it a low spend year. But yeah, I'll talk about that in another video, my financial goals for 2025, maybe some of my other goals. And yeah, I just hope you are excited. If you're watching this, I hope you're excited about your debt-free journey. I know I've been watching like lots of Dave Ramsey. I love their videos. It's really fascinating. I love seeing people, I don't know what they call it, but they go into that debt-free shoot and like confetti shoots out at them. Anyway, it just makes me so emotional and happy for those people. Seeing what they've accomplished is really motivating too. So I've been down a whole YouTube hole watching so many financial videos. But thank you for joining me today. I hope you continue to join me in updates on my debt-free journey. I'm definitely not going to be debt-free by the end of 2025, but I'm going to have a red hot crack at denting that debt. So I hope to see you next time. Bye bye for now, and God bless.